Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ETS Reacts. And we're back with the weekly anime rankings. I wanted to bring it back with spring 2026 because it kind of fell off in winter. I wasn't really doing that many animes in winter 2026. I was just getting my feet under me. If you're new, I just started the channel beginning of 2026. And so I started off easy with just a couple, and now in spring, I'm really trying to ramp up the seasonal animes. So I figured since I'm doing a ton of animes this spring, that I do bring back the ranking systems and maybe talk by one, then maybe later on go into my Twitter account, see what I'm keeping up with, trying to stay more active on my Twitter because that also fell off towards the end of winter. So I'm going to try to do things as best as possible here. And if you're new, this is how my skill works. I think about a 6 out of 10 is about an average episode. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. And then 10 was like one of the best episodes I've ever watched. Where 2, I probably will never put anything in there, but let's just say One Punch Man season 3. Yeah, so that I think that gives you a little brief description of how I rank things. And let's jump into the first anime that we watched here on ETS Reacts of spring 2026, The Agents of Four Seasons. To be honest, I think I'm putting it in 10. And I know it's not my favorite anime I've ever watched, so I'm already destroying my rankings, or how I scale my rankings, I guess, to begin with. But it's one of those animes where I didn't really expect much going into it, and then when it freaking delivers, you're floored, right? And I am floored with Agents of the Four Seasons, and I said it over and over again, but it is so beautiful. The storytelling is amazing. The music behind it just gets you emotional. I thought the first episode was done really well with how Spring interacted with the child and kind of how spring is new beginnings, new life, and how they tried to signify that in that episode. And then you turn around and you almost get the complete opposite with episode 2 of how it's centered on winter and like the hardships that he had to endure, the trauma, like all of it. You could feel the emotion from spring to winter and how it's the opposite of how winter kind of kills life, but how they want to merge together kind of in their love and their relationship. And in the comments, I even said this with the first 2 episodes. If the quality of this anime stays the same, it will easily break into my top 10 animes that I've watched just because of how beautiful and the storytelling behind it. So I am really, really excited for Saturdays when this anime comes out because it's really been peak and there's just not much more to say about it. So 10 out of 10, already destroying my rankings. And the next one up is Classroom of the Elite Season 4. To be honest, probably the hardest one to rate for me because, like I've talked about if you watch that video, I'm a light novel reader. I'm up to date. So I'm very passionate about Classroom of the Elite. And it's hard because I look at it and I go, there was some cut content and some scenes that didn't really make sense to me. Like when I really boil it down, it's like episode 1 had a decent amount of cut content. The first interaction with Ichika had some decent amount of cut content. And then you go the whole rain scene, and I get it. People want to say it's the production value, but to me it just felt a little silly. But I don't really think it ruins episode 4. I think it just was like, why don't you just follow the light novel? Like why do you need to bring in the rain? And then I've also seen people said they got bored through episode 2 and 3, which I don't get that either, right? Like the whole plot setup with Ayano cooking for Ichika, and a really important scene, and then Ichika coming back, and then I think the slice of life moments in Classroom of the Elite are really good. So I really think there was some really high quality work done with Classroom of the Elite, and there's some work that I kind of go, man, maybe I would have done this as the director instead of that. But I think everyone can nitpick it, and I'm not going to nitpick it. It obviously wasn't a 5. I think it was an 8 out of 10. Just because I think when I first read the Hosen stabbing scene, I think it's like it floors you to your chair. It gets you excited. You're constantly guessing who is the White Room student. Is it Nanase? Is it Hosen? Which we can kind of know it's not Hosen now, but or is it Ichika? Is it Yagami? Is it, you can go down the list of all these characters that you've ran into, and I think that part of it keeps you on your toes, and then you have the cool action mixed in with the slice of life, and I think it's really perfect because I really enjoyed the slice of life plus the action, so I think it's an 8 out of 10. And now it's going to go below some things when I'm like, oh, it was really good, but like I said earlier, it's the ones that kind of catch you off guard that really floor you, that like make you go like, oh wow, like I knew what I was getting with Classroom of the Elite, and it still delivered. It was still really good. But now I'm gonna put Ramparts of Ice in front of it because I think it was just better. This is the same author as You and I Are Polar Opposites, and like I said in that video, let's give a round of applause to that author because man, she did such an I'm guessing it's a she, sorry if I gendered that person. She did such a amazing job with both You and I Are Polar Opposites, and then I'm already relating to the characters within the Ramparts of Ice of, when does teasing go too far? And then Minato, the bubbly, bright personality who's trying to tear down that ice wall, and then you also have her friend of, I'm blanking on her name, tearing down the wall on the other side, and it's going to be really cool to see the character development. Oh, and then we have Giraffe Boy, and he was a cool character coming over and saving our main character there at the end, and I thought it was a really cool romance anime that I'm excited for. Then we have The Angel Spoils Me Rotten. It was a 6. It was average. I didn't think there was really anything special in episode 1. Like, to me, you've been gone for almost 3 years now, and you get back with a very chill, mellow PDA romance, which was really cute. I think Sheena is one of the most adorable female main leads in an anime, and I thought that there was just not that much like progress in it. Like, we were just kind of showing off our relationship to all of our friends in school. So I'm really interested where they're taking this forward, because I think that's why a lot of animes end once you hit the couple status, because you're kind of like, well, what do we do going forward? And I think that's why You and I Are Polar Opposites is so good, because they keep it interesting with the other couples or, the other people in the story where this doesn't really have it. So I am interested to see kind of where it is going forward. Petals of Reincarnation. This is one that I was like, I have no idea what I'm signing up for. But to be honest, it was a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I thought the end really made it for me, because you kind of see his technique and you go like, that's the lamest technique I've ever seen. You steal stuff and you can only do it from 70 centimeters? Like, what? and then in my head, it doesn't even register that you could steal someone's technique or talent from them. Like, you can steal anything. And then I thought the whole purse thing was hilarious, because I called it, because I was like, she's gonna be like, oh, my purse is way more valuable than the stuff inside it, and so it chases after him. And I don't know, I'm really excited to see how this main character moves forward, because it was almost like, I don't give an F about anybody else. All I care about is myself. I'm going to be to the top. Like, I'm going to tear down it. And you're kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. So I think that's really what caught me and is getting me interested to see kind of where Petals of Reincarnation is going to be moving forward. Demons of the Shadow Realm. I think this one's really hard to rank. I'd probably rank it here at a 7, just behind Petals of Reincarnation, because it's good. The plot was really good, but I'm kind of like, what's going on here with the modern? Are they in a, like, I don't want to call it they're obviously in the Shadow Realm, a barrier that protects this ancient land from, I think, modern civilization. But how did Asa get down in modern civilization? Did she follow the parents? Why are they hiding this from Yuru? And kind of what the play is going forward, and how are these daemons, I think, gonna help us out now that they're in human form? Why are we fighting? So it was a good setup episode, but it left me with more questions than I had going into it. But I'm excited to kind of see for the next 2 to 3 episodes where this is kind of heading. And then Nippon San Goku. Man, this is a tough one. Because I'm like, does it go here or does it go here? Boop, 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 boop. I think it goes there. To be honest, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, am I going to be the only one reacting to this? Like, is no one else going to be reacting to this show? Because when I saw it, I'm like, it looks so interesting. I think the plot, like, looked really interesting from the trailer. I thought it was different prefectures going to be battling it out with each other. And I was like, I thought it looked amazing. And then you get into it, and it floored me with the plot, the 70-year-old, 13-year-old girl who's constantly going like this. I mean, we could just stare into the camera the whole time and go, heh, heh. You know, so, and he's just a dude you can hate right away, so it just gives you an antagonist of like, I hate this guy, I can't wait to see his head on a platter by the end of this. And then you get this cool, strategic, kind of goes about it the right ways, right? Of he didn't, like when his wife got killed, the first thing I think everyone wants to do is grab that sword and then run it through that guy. But guess what? That's not going to really change anything. Like you have to change the foundation or the culture. If you just kill him, then someone else is going to rise up through that same system and just take its place. So you have to change the culture, the foundation of that. And he's really going about it the smart, strategic way. And I really love MCs like that. And then the story as well with the war and kind of how that's all going to play into it. I'm really, really excited to see where this anime moves forward. And then Liar Game. I mean, people were rating it as like a 5.5, a 6. And it just kind of blows my mind because I think a lot of these fans maybe, and maybe other kind of super smart MC main character animes, when they hear people hyping up a super smart, they're like, you can never be Ayano Koji, or you can never be Yamauchi from Tomodachi Game, you know? So they just always love to hate. And it's the most classic episode 1 setup story. Not that it's like classic of like it was predictable, because it was predictable here and there, but I thought it was a great setup. Like we got a little taste of the game and the money and the stakes that's on the line, and then we had our teacher try to play us, and I mean, stupidly naive Naoto. I mean, that's all you gotta say. I mean, geez. But I love the contrast between Nayo and Akiyama. I think that might be it. I love the contrast between the two and how they're going to play off each other going forward, because it almost seems like maybe Akiyama is the MC and Nayo isn't, but from episode 1 you might think she is. But I'm really interested to see what this Liar Game's all about. It seems a little Squid Gamey, but I saw today that the manga came out in 2005, so maybe Squid Gamey is Liar Gamey. So I think it was more here. I think it was probably the best out of these 7s, but not quite as good as these 8s. Witch Hat Atelier? I don't know. I struggle with that one. I thought it was a 9. The animation, the storyline was great. I've only watched episode 1. I haven't watched episode 2 yet. That's coming later. But the mom, it was a little predictable, but you know what wasn't predictable? The drawing that is magic, and kind of the storyline of, okay, who are these evil witches that gave us this picture book? How is this going to be moving forward? Because, you know, people can't know about the drawings and how that's magic. And Kifri was going to have to erase our memories. So I thought it was a really beautiful, well-written story that puts it probably ahead of those in 8, but to be honest, not that much. Like it could probably go here, but I just think that the animation and the art style of it takes it a little bit above those, but story wise, it's on the same level as these. And then I just finished recording Marriage Toxin, and I probably put it here in the 7 range. I was thrown for a freaking loop when May said that she was a boy, and I was like, say what now? You're a man? I thought you were a woman. Obviously, I think everyone else did, but then you're kind of like, oh, how did I not think of that? Like, you get characters like from my teen romantic comedy, where that one guy that Hachiman's always kind of into through the whole show, where he's kind of a femboy, you know? So I was like, how did I not see that? But it really caught me off guard, and I'm really interested with the plot and kind of how Guru matches up with other women to get married and the action that goes alongside of it. Because this poison technique, I mean, that also floored me with how he's able to inject himself, and then he's able to move faster than bullets and cars, and he has all these super cool techniques to clean toilets. So no, but it was really cool, and I'm like, can I honestly still kind of ship May and Guru, because I think they still might be my favorite couple in this by the end. And I thought it was hilarious that May looked like Marin from Dress Up Darling at the end. I'm like, is this the same studio? Because I'm like, he looks just like Marin from Dress Up Darling. Like, you could plaster them side by side and it'd be like, that's the same photo, whatever that meme was. But yeah, this is so far my week 1 of spring. I think it's probably week 1 of spring ranking so far. Let me know what you all think. If you guys think we're on the same page, leave a like, leave a comment of what your favorite anime has been so far, and I appreciate you all tuning in, and hopefully you guys will keep enjoying the content I'm putting out. I think the only animes that I haven't watched yet, let me get this really fast. I think the other animes in spring 2026 I'm going to do is ReZero, Awajima, I think, and then Kill Blue, and then maybe the other romance one I got recommended to me in the comments that comes out on Friday, because Friday's really my chill day. I only have Angel Next Door, and then Wistoria. So those are really the ones I have left. And to be honest, my thought process right now, because keeping up all these animes is not sustainable. If you guys are new, I have a full-time job, and doing this when I get back home on top of it, there's just no way I can pump out 2 or 3 animes a day that's sustainable. So my goal is based off performance of, if an anime doesn't perform and, you know, I like it, then it's just the way it is. It isn't performing on my channel, so it's going to have to get dropped. And I think the 2 right now that haven't performed the best are Witch Hat Alta, sorry, I suck at that one, and then the Demons of the Shadow Realm. And so those are the 2 that haven't performed. And I would say Angel Next Door is probably 3rd, but it's doing decent enough. So those are probably the 3 that are in the trouble watch, is what I'd call it, especially as these other ones come out. And so if you guys want them to stay, then keep commenting, keep liking the posts. I guess they're kind of posts. And just keep letting me know which ones you like and don't like, because it's all going to be based down to performance. So thank you guys for watching the rankings, and let me know if you think you're on the same page or not. Bye.